Welcome to the next masterclass. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it short. Welcome to the stage, CMCS.
Thank you. Yo guys, I'm CMCS. I'm going to show you guys how I've made my newest single with Conor Maynard. I'm working with Logic. Anyone working with Logic in the room? A lot of Fruity Loops, I see. Well, I'm going to show everything what I've done, and I'm going to show you guys how I've made a drop as well. But we're going to start from the top. But first, you're gonna have a listen.
Every day when the night falls, and it's you and me, feeling like you made of stone, and I ain't got an eye key. Can we vibe with the lights off? But tell me, what do you see? Feeling like you made of stone. Baby, if you could understand me, I would feel so empty. I don't wanna let you go, ever let you go. Say you understand me, I'll give you my everything. If you need to let me go, ever let me go, I won't let you go. 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 I can't decide if you're the right one. In your eyes I see we're riding on a tide that turns. How funny is the irony? Like your life with a mic on. Tell me, do you ride for me? Breaking down your walls. Baby, if you could understand me, I would feel so empty. I don't wanna let you go, ever let you go. Say you understand me, I'll give you my everything. If you need to let me go, ever let me go, I won't let you go. I won't let you go. I cannot lie to you. I keep on trying to meet you where you are. I don't know what to do. Can't say goodbye to you. Oh, I cannot lie to you. I keep on trying to meet you where you are. I still make time for you, 'cause I can't say goodbye to you. Baby, if you could understand me, I would feel so empty. I don't wanna let you go, ever let you go. Say you understand me, I'll give you my everything. If you need to let me go, ever let me go, I won't let you go. I won't let you go. I won't let you go. I am not letting you go. I won't let you go. You let me go, 'cause I won't let you go.
Yes. Thanks. Thank you. So, how I start? Yes, I've wrote the chords of the song. These are the main chords of the whole song. Always, when I start a song, I first wrote the chords, then I'm starting with the drums, and I'm building the track around it. So I've picked this this sound. It's just a preset, tweaking a little about it, and made a filter on it to introduce the song. And you heard a lot of effects like this warm poppy vinyl effect. I always add effect like this in my songs to give it a more warm feeling. Of course, some sweepers.
Every day when the night falls, and it's you.
Well, this is the same sound in the intro, doubling with some Rhodes. Playing exactly the same. So this is the first part of the drums. I will loop this. I really like this kind of kicks with some good punch in it. It gives that warm or big, how do you say that, feeling. I put also some reverb on it. And we've got some toms doing exactly the same. Give it more punch and more body into it. And we've got some other toms. And a snare, of course. And gave it some more snaps for the rhythm of the track. So basically, these are the chords and the drums that I've used for the whole song. And when we go into the chorus of the song, let me see.
Stand me, I would feel so empty. I don't wanna let you go, ever let you go. Say you understand.
I've cut the chords, so it's from this, from this to make it faster. The same chords with another rhythm.
Understand me, I would feel so empty. Wanna let you go, ever let you go. Say you understand me. I'll give you my everything if you.
I did that because I wanted to give it some more tempo in it. So like it's like faster, and I can drop it in the drop also with that fast chords to give it more tempo. I've put some effects on it. Yeah, I've bounced the drums, what I've shown you, and I've put some filter on it, some high cut, to make more room for the vocals. I think it's very important to give the vocals some more room. Yeah, the build-up. I've introduced some kicks, also with some high cut on it. You see, cymbals, Effects. A sweep, of course. I think it's very important to add some good effects in your tracks, because I heard a lot of songs without good effects, and it's really bad. It gives some, yeah, you say that, it makes the song complete. You can have some good chords and whatever, but with bad effects, it's not not that good, the track. I've introduced some bubbling kind of rims. So everything is with a high cut on it. So when the drops comes, it's getting bigger. It's more like a build-up right now. Yeah, the drums. I think the most important thing in a song is the drums. It's like the FX. If you have bad drums, then the song is bad. So make sure you have some good drums in it. I've used a lot of hip-hop samples, and these samples I'm using in like all my songs, so that gives me some more, yeah, eigen own sound. So it is the punch of the kick. I've put some EQ on it and cut the lows. And this is the main kick. It gives the body the low frequencies. And this, the punch with some reverb on it to make it more, yeah. And also cut the high, the low, sorry. Some cymbals on it. I think that's very cool. Also in house tracks. Yeah, and of course the snare. I'm using that snare in all my songs. And lyrics with some other snares as well. It's more punchy. I always put that cymbal between the drums, like some deep house kind of vibe, but it's more like, yeah, it gives them more swing or something. It's very cool. All right. Oh. Of course, the toms. Also some extra layer of some tom. And the snaps. Yeah. That are all the drums. It's very simple, but it sounds very well, I think. Yeah, the chords, how I've made that. I will show you guys how I've made it in another project. Any questions further.
Hi.
Hey.
Your drums sounds really punchy and clean, and you said that we have to pick the best ones. And is it a secret where you take your drums from? I mean, not like I make hip hop drums, but which sample libraries would you recommend to the producers?
Like the sample way, or what do you mean exactly? Like
Vengeance for a house, and what about the future bass?
Oh, like that. Yeah, what I said, I use a lot of hip-hop samples. And I can show you guys what sample pack I'm using.
Like which company is the best for you? Maybe like that.
It's not really a company. I use a lot of Deadly Drums. It's from a hip-hop producer. And they have a lot of good kicks, but this kick, no, it's all from hip-hop samples. I'm not really using that EDM kind of sample packs. It's really EDM-ish. Like, no. I've made actually some samples with future bass, but I'm never using that drums. Let me see. Yeah, you have just to look for some future bass sample packs around on the internet. There are a lot of right now. When I started producing future bass, there were like nothing. So I have to do it myself with hip hop samples.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yep. Next question?
Yeah, you want more questions?
I'm still looking for the right sample pack. I can't find it.
Hey, I have a question. Where do you like to place your snares in a mix? Do you like mix them dead center, or do you like to mix them wide, or because that's like always bugging me?
Yeah, I always put my samples in between, in the middle. Like this one. It's not that stereo. And I'm mixing my snares always more harder than normal songs.
All right, good, thanks.
Yep. More questions?
Hey, I was wondering, do you always construct your drum beats on the grid, and why?
Like this. Yeah, I does. I'm not using samplers or something. I'm just putting that on the grid. It's much work, I know, but this is the way it works. It's, I think it's really bad from Logic, but I'm used to it.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
And you don't like record with a piano or MIDI controller or anything?
Sorry, what?
You don't record your signals or drums or instrument with like a MIDI controller?
No, not really. I'm just, on the writing them in.
Thanks.
Small question regarding the construction of the track itself. Do you first do the beats, then do everything around it inside the drop, I would say, or do you do it the other way around? Find the rhythm for the lead sounds, then do the beats around it.
Yeah, I make first what I said. I first write the chords with just a piano. Then I'm looking for the right sounds. Then building the drop. Yeah, it depends on what if I've got some cool ideas for the drop. I'm first making the drop with of course the drums, and then I'm making the synths.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I was curious how you mix your vocals.
Yeah. Actually, this is not the final mix of my song. To be honest, I work with the engineer. I'm sending all my tracks, all my stems to the engineer and do the engineer work. Like all my songs, I don't use any compressor or any shit like that. I'm no fucking engineer. I'm just a producer. Okay. So I'm doing the creative stuff, and this is my own leveling of the vocals. I'm using. Let me see. It's the right one. Yep.
Every day when the night falls.
Oh, I didn't use anything on it. Yeah. But most of the time, I've got my own vocal bus, and I've compression
It's you and me. Feeling like
using Airfox from Waves, de-esser, and some verb and EQ. Boost some high, cut the lows.
feeling like you made up.
That's it. More questions for now?
You said you're a producer instead of an engineer, but do you make any sounds or just all presets?
No, I make sounds as well.
Yeah.
Like this drop I made for myself. But what I mean with I'm no engineer, like everyone thinks you have to be a good engineer as well, like compression, limiting, EQing. I'm doing my own mix, my own level. And I do my own EQing as well. But I think it's not every song what you make can you do on your own. Like you have to be more better, more, you know. So I'm sending to the engineer to put their magic on it as well.
All right. Yeah, thanks.
This is something that I've heard throughout the entire weekend, that a lot of producers say that they only do the producing part and they do the engineering by the engineer, obviously. So I don't think it's a shame to do a track just by yourself. If you have someone who can help you, that's not a bad thing, because in the end, the result is everything that matters. So if you need a team to finalize your track, just take that along with you. And
Yeah, exactly.
great, thank you for that. Do we have any other questions?
Hey, I was reading on Wikipedia. This might just be a rumor, but did you co-produce In the Name of Love with Martin Garrix?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Can you talk about that a little, please? Thank you very much. Like, I don't know. Can you say what you contributed or how it was to work with everyone? Thank you.
I can't tell much about it, but it's true. I just helped with him co-produce it, not more.
Like we said, it's not a shame to help people with your tracks.
Yeah, it's true.
So even for Martin Garrix, it's not unlikely for people to get help. And we had Mark Villa here just a panel before. He also said that he had help with people co-producing his tracks. So that's all not co-producing, but like sound engineering and mastering. So there's no shame to that whatsoever.
Yeah. All right. I'm putting some drums right now. I've sampled this snare from a song from DJ Snake, I think. Yeah, so I'm usually using three kind of kicks: a punch kick, the body kick, and some punch. In the kick from the punch, I'm cutting this. Well, make sure you only have the punch, that little tick. You can make it some longer, whatever you want. Oh, put some fade on it. It's a good punch. Yeah. So I'm only using the punch of the kick. Later we'll do it the body kick. Then it sounds like this. And then I'm using the body. And cutting the low frequencies. Here you go. Where does it work? Oh. something like this. Oh. Logic kind of stuff, very logic. Right. Oh. Yeah. Okay, I've made the drums real quick. The synth. Yeah, it's funny. I'm never using future-based kind of sample packs or something. I'm trying to make my own synths or make from a preset a synth. I will show you guys how I've made that synth from the track. Is anybody using Serum in the room? Okay. Well, it's my favorite synth right now. It's very simple. You see the saw wave. I'm using a pulse and a saw. Basic. Add some voice on it. Sound or something. Add some modulation on it. This is basically the synth. That's it. So how we made that effect? It's like with the LFO. It's very simple. I will put it down the level of the oscillators. And here you go, you have future bass. All right, there you go. The rate. You can add some noise as well. Also with some LFO. Yeah, this is synth. I've used some compression as well. Just a multi-band. Yeah. I'm always cutting my lows off so I can add another sub on it. And mostly I'm boosting some in the high as well. Not like that. Whoa. Yeah. And to give it that kind of swing, I've put some kickstart from Nico Romero on it. And put it on the rate of 1/4. And that's it. some reverb as well. You can add also some other effects like dimension expander. It's more making more stereo. Not too much. Yeah. Oh. Here you go. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's it. I'm not doing much science of something. It's just a saw and a pulse. And that's how I made a synth. Any questions?
Did you make the flute or something also by yourself?
No. I've used Contact. It's called Exhale. They have really crazy sounds like this. It's all sample-based. They have a lot of sounds like this, but they sample it and put it in this really crazy synth and make something cool with it. Yeah, I'm not. It's a really cool thing. Exhale is it called?
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Hey, I want to ask how you do your basses. Do you have extra basses in the project, or?
Like a sub or something?
Yeah, for example,
Yeah,
sub or other basses going on.
Yeah, I forgot. Sorry. I'm always using silent. It's called deep sub. It's a standard silent sub. And like in every song of mine, it's just a normal sub. Also put some. How heet it? Yes, I. Yeah, that's the sub. More questions?
Yes, here we go.
Misschien een beetje overbodig, maar but could you play like your Serum patch without oscillator A on?
Yeah, sure. Like this?
Yes, thanks. Yeah, it still has a lot of body, but how does that? Oh yeah, I hear now. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I made a mistake. Sorry. It's just still in a sinus. It has to be a pulse. Yeah, this is a synth. Sorry.
Hi, do you use any other sidechain besides the Romero kickstart thing?
No, not really. I'm always using that kickstart from Nick Romero.
Okay, thanks. What happened to your return of the Mac remix from Spotify? Come on, dude, it was amazing.
How have made that synth?
No, the return of the Mac.
Yeah?
Your remix.
Yeah?
It's not on Spotify no more, right?
No, it's still for free. Is this a bootleg? Kind of.
Bootleg on spinning records.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should totally put it on Spotify.
So I got one more here.
I'm sorry, got really much questions, but where do you like to place your saws in a mix? Because I find it really hard, like giving it a right place. I'm always wondering, should I like mix them really wide, or I'm using Ableton and I always use the utility tool, and you can like determine the stereo separation, and mostly it's just on 100%, and I try to get it really wide with reverb and stuff, but
Yeah.
where do you place them? What's the best place in a mix?
For my synths.
Yeah. Yeah, for this one in particular.
Yeah, it depends on the song, but I've put some dimension expander on it. On the original song, I haven't, I think. Yeah, it's in this song. I think it's more in the middle. Yeah. Other songs, I'm like filling all those frequencies with a lot of layers. In the original song, I've layered this one as well, just octave higher. Yeah. And cut the high ones to give it a body.
But does it occur a lot that like the rest drowns in your saw, like because it takes up really much of the frequency spectrum?
Yeah, all my drums are mono, but I'm always using that that kind of. Can we back? No. That stadium kind of kick.
With the big reverb on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives them more that bigger space, you know?
Yeah, but doesn't it like grants less space to your lead?
No, I don't think so. Okay. But what I said, I'm using my own EQing and leveling, and then the engineers fixing that space.
Of course. Yeah.
If you,
Thank you very much.
Yo.
Okay, so this will be the last one.
Hi, I am an engineer myself, and you were talking about working with engineers.
Yeah.
How do you communicate with them? Because most of the time we talk a completely different language from artist to engineer and back. So how do you make sure that he makes the sound how you like it and doesn't change the sound?
Mostly I'm giving some reference or say what I want or what I want to reach. But mostly he's mixing the first demo. The first demo, and then I'm giving a lot of feedback on it. So then you're like 7 demos further for the final mix.
Right, thanks.
Yep.
Okay, so guys, that was it for today, or for this seminar anyway. We want to thank you all for coming, and a big applause please for CMCS.
Thank you.